I think when I talk to people about it, I like to practice a little bit of understanding for learning, because if you don't leave room for learning and the fact that people are really trying to keep up with these terms, I think you kind of just alienate an opportunity to have productive discussion. Like, rather than maybe, I don't know how hard he scolded you, but like say he scolds you and makes you feel badly, then you don't want to talk about it. He could have said to you, hey, have you ever thought about using just drag queen rather than hyper queen for this reason? And you guys might have had a really productive conversation about it or something, right?
Yeah, no, it wasn't productive. He was just
sure.
No, because like I was trying to hype y'all up on the Instagram accounts, and I noticed like, of course, with Land Insider winning Dragula, it was like, finally a drag king wins, and then with RuPaul's Drag Race, it's like how many seasons later, and there still isn't, a hyper queen on there. So I was just trying to showcase at the festival was like, hey, we have all kinds of drag, we're being inclusive and whatnot, and I don't know, I think it's over his head or something.
They haven't taken any that are transitioning, that have already transitioned.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yep. Well, I appreciate you trying to help us up and also like asking about it, so again, for me, in a case like that, like I don't mind personally being called a hyper queen because your intentions are in the right place, right? But that's kind of why I always, sometimes I'll like lead by example, and if I say I'm talking to like an older drag queen who has never encountered someone like me and they call me a bio queen. Normally I wouldn't really tolerate being called a bio queen, but if someone who clearly is trying their best and it's a genuine effort and it's coming from the right place, I'm not gonna be like, actually I'm gonna need you to stop there and be rude about it. Yeah. I kind of gauge the situation and I don't want to split hairs about it, because at least that person is trying to loop me in and identify something about me that they think is really valuable. But if they're using the term to like, I've been introduced on stage before where someone called me the bun in the sausage fest. And I was like, sweet, so now I'm gonna perform a number where I went out of my way to like, I'm lip syncing in English, I went out of my way to learn another language and perform this number in ASL, but you're all just sitting here thinking about my genitals now. Like, so in cases like that, I was like, actually, like my drag has nothing to do with
work, and then they just kind of like shit over it. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I try to keep my language just really neutral, especially because we encounter so many different artists of so many different kinds and places and experiences that I just, for my purposes, I drag entertainer, drag performer, if I know the person identifies as a queen, regardless of their daily gender, I'll say drag queen. I kind of also try to gauge it on like what they're most comfortable with as well, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Do we have other questions in the 5 minutes? Yeah.
So you've explained a lot about what your audience is and a lot of different types of people that represent your audience as a whole. What are some of the, like, how is your audience split up based in like how many of them do you think are like actual artists? How many of them are people that are not artists that want to discover? How many are people that are like maybe just like music or just probably because you think you're interesting?
It's mostly Drag Race fans.
Honestly, it's mostly Drag Race fans because what we started, because our first like 3 supporters were RuPaul's Drag Race girls who were very notable. It was like Alaska, Bianca, Jinx, like. Okay. So the first kind of appeal that we had was we were the original super fans. Like we were the super fans that people noticed because we went hard and we did all of these unique things that were in a weird combination no one had ever seen, and that kind of caught people's attention. But then when it caught their attention, they realized we were also posting, because remember how I said we like kind of use the Drag Race shows as a venue into other drag. I think because that's where it was rooted in the Drag Race thing, a lot of it is just, there are so many Drag Race fans out there, and so many of the girls are our friends now that that's a lot of the content.
That's the thing as well, though, I was saying before, is that like, it's not great, but like that's what's popular. Like if that gets people to come to the account so they can see other stuff that we have on there, if you manage to click on something else that we have on there, then like, and as well, if I put them in playlists now. So if like at Necto the other day, like Nina was the main performer, but then like all the girls that are there are in a playlist. So if you just click play, you can watch all of them.
And it might autoplay from Nina to whoever else, and you might discover a new. It's kind of a reverse, like we kind of used Drag Race as a venue into other drag, and now we're like kind of using Drag Race to draw people in and like learn about all the other drag we discovered. So it's kind of like the tables have turned, I guess. But there are a lot of other people who, something I'm really grateful with in the Drag Race, it's happening more and more in the fans, in our followers, and in the fan base, but a lot of what the Drag Race girls that we've known for many years will do is hype up the fact that we also follow local and international talent.
Right.
Which I think is really amazing because that's kind of them using their platform for good. Because if we're a really easy, accessible answer or example of a platform where you can find a lot of local drag from a lot of different places and a lot of different kinds, a Drag Race girl giving us a shout out and saying, P.S. they also document local drag, gets the videos we have of other queens besides just themselves.
Well, but that's also like one of the like things online that people are like meh, 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 about. They're like, they only follow, but I'm like, have you looked at anything that we have on our channel? Like, it is a lot of it because it's popular and it brings people in, but like, they miss the point where they always go like to me, they're like, well, she just follows around Nina West. I'm like, I have known Nina West for 5 years. I bothered that poor woman immediately upon seeing her on stage. I was like, I love this person.
She's stuck with us for a long time.
I love this person, and I think that they deserve to have a bigger platform, and I have been annoyingly recording and taking photos of her for like 5 years, and she's my drag mother and my friend. I'm like, just because she happened to get on a TV program doesn't mean I'm gonna be like, all right, well, bye.
Can't
Good luck.
anymore.
Like, I'm still doing the same amount of ridiculousness that I did before. It's just like now people know more who she is.
Yeah.
It's like that she was a local queen, and just because they got on Drag Race doesn't mean that you should then go, oh well, then they don't
deserve your support anymore.
They still do. They were still hustling beforehand. And honestly, Drag Race afterwards is extremely difficult for a lot of the people who we know who went on it mentally.
Yeah.
So it's like they still need a lot of like support and thing, whatever. Just because now they have like they make a little bit more money, it's like we want to support everybody the same amount.
Yeah, I wanna give an even amount of support across the board, regardless of what kind of drag you're doing, regardless of what level you're doing at, regardless of whether you've been on TV or where you come from. We try to keep it as even as we can, especially because that's where the unique part of what we've been able to do is that because originally it was not the fans and followers of the show or drag or the people in the audiences originally supporting us. We were actually originally quite hated because people didn't really know what we were doing. We've had drinks poured on our heads. People would be like, what the fuck's
Still a little bit of that.
Yeah, so like originally, like we kept doing it, not because we had any kind of supporters, but because it was literally the drag performers, Rue Girls included, Rue Girls and local girls really, who kind of kept us in it and kept us going and telling us, we really appreciate what you do. Thank you for caring about what we do so much that you're still doing this however many years later. So I think people miss out on the fact that like these are people we've formed personal relationships with, regardless of whether on TV, regardless of where they come from, regardless of whether they're a king, a queen, or something else. So I think we do get a lot of like, they're just race chasers and they follow the girls around, and we're like, yeah, okay, sure.
That's most of the content they see though, because that's what's most popular. That's what pops up on
that's
our.
What gets
that's what people are
liked.
searching.
And also on your algorithm.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm like
so the
that's
algorithm is
yeah. I'm like I just put that shit up and go good luck. Like once it's up there, I'm like.
Yeah,
I don't check on it.
We sometimes go out of our way to really hype up something that's like a lesser known performer that we thought was really fucking amazing.
Eva Destruction.
Anything Sherry Pie's ever done. And we'll put them up and we'll be like, this is amazing, and it'll get like 30 likes because our algorithm has like formatted itself or whatever.
Wrap it up.
That the Drag Race stuff is just what people see more, which is just like another flaw in the social media, I guess. So something else to manage for us. Yeah.
Woo! We did it! We did it! Alright,
Thank
I'm
y'all.
speaking.
I had no doubt that we would, really.
Fine.
Thanks, this was super fun, and I really appreciate that you came.
We're done. Share the story.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
I have to take a break from you guys because I'm so jealous.
Hey, you're that alive.
That's a lot of what
Do you get that a lot?
it sounds like to say, but that's a lot of what the people online that are like, oh
Yeah.
my God, you guys there, whatever. Like, I'm like, I know that this is mostly like people being like they're like jealous that we go around these. I'm like, but I'm not being like given this shit. I'm like, I work at Michael's. Stupid amounts of I have to deal with women shopping for candles. It's like the meager amount of money that I get is like immediately put back into this.
No,
It's like I don't.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to tag along or be you or whatever.
Thank you.
A lot of people
We're super
don't.
grateful.
A lot of people don't come up to talk to us because they're like scared for some reason, and I'm like,
We're terrifying.
yes, we're terrified. But like, we had like break over here, we went to a Jersey show with the other week, and
Can I get a photo with you?
Oh my god, of course!
no!
Yeah, because
My day.
I used her name as a joke.
Oh yeah, what did you say? Oh yeah, I said I tried my very best, and she went, you tried your very best. I was like, oh my god!
On the list somewhere, I saw if the name Dry Habit did come up sometimes with that.
Oh my god, how to get to
Nailed it. This is way
yeah,
What am I, just like, it's been in the suitcase for 3 months.
Literally.
I was like rubbing up
When's
on
the
it.
last
Well,
time
I
you
can't-
went home?
You can't bring style ones.
And I was like, no, I swear to God, it's my camera. I swear to God, it's my
Yeah, but like I need to find out the.
There is my food.
But.
Oh, I can totally help you.
I have a
This
photo.
is my very first event where.
It's not food.
Really?
Oh, the video camera.
I'm still rolling.
I have one upstairs.
Would you be able to
You're like, hello.